You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, season 53, week number 10 of the Western States Racing League. We're here at New Hampshire this week with halfway point, race number 10 of the 20-week season. I'm Chris Murphy here with Alan Bergen. How you doing tonight, Alan?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? We are live here in New Hampshire here. You know, this is going to be a hot, slick track here, but 53 seasons of the Western States Racing League. And I tell you what, I got an eye on one driver here tonight, but I think it's going to be the class of the field. And he's also getting ready for Sunday night over on Icon. That's the 87 truck of Bentley Glazer. Also, you know, a lot of other heavy hitters, Michael Melfield Jr., another one of those drivers, Charlie Widener, looking to gain some knowledge for Sunday night also. But, you know, don't discount the Bob Beltramis of the series, and or the Tyrone Harrises or the Michael Melfield Jr.'s.
Yeah, 27 drivers here clocked in tonight in practice. We've got qualifying underway right now. You can see us here at New Hampshire. Track temperature not too bad, about 81 degrees, but New Hampshire is tough on tires. So we're going to bring up some qualifying times right now, see where we are. Right now, out on the pole is Bob Beltrami, and that graphic's a little bit messed up right there. So we're going to... Bob Beltrami right now on the pole with a 30.58. You know, Western States Racing League's been around since about 1999. Been around for a long, long time. And this is the 16th race that they have ran here with the trucks. If you look back on the season, Bob Beltrami on the pole right now, and also the all-time winner in the Western States Racing League tied with 2 wins out of 16 starts. Other drivers that are here tonight, also with some wins here at New Hampshire in the trucks. Brian Barnes picked up a win for the Western States Racing League. Wayne Hutchison, our last week's winner at Bristol, has also won a race here at New Hampshire in the past. And also Wayne and Bentley Glazier and Ryan Steele. So you mentioned Bentley Glazier earlier. I think we're going to see Bentley Glazier up towards the top of this field before it's over. Right now, he is sitting third in qualifying with a 30.62, just a little under 0.2 of a second behind our pole sitter. Jacob Jensen has now jumped up to the front.
Yeah, absolutely. And another name that's always here to the front too, no matter whether it's qualifying or racing, and that is Chris Samard. Now, the one thing you got to realize about this league is, if you want your number, you have to get in here early. If not, well, then you are SOL, my friend.
I have to ask, are you on copy on the SDK? Because my controls aren't working very well for some reason here.
Yep.
Well, this is disappointing. I have been playing with this all night long. It's been working just fine, but for some reason here in qualifying, I'm not getting much feed on there. So hopefully it works in better for the race, but it's been working better. Worked all night long, so, but it seems to be a little glitchy at the moment. All right, well, still continuing on here with practice. Jacob Jensen, points leader right now. We'll see if we can pull up the point standings here as we're finishing up qualifying. Just a little bit left to go. So right now, Wayne Hutchison, excuse me, I said Jacob Jensen's lead. Actually, Wayne Hutchison has topped the points, moved up over Brian Barnes last week with his win at Bristol. Brian Barnes there in second. Jacob Jensen third. Bob Beltrami, Julian Ritchie rounding out the top 5. John Kenyon, Ryan Steele, David Weaver, Bentley Glazier, Dustin Burns going to finish off the top 10 for the point standings right now, as we're coming up, like we said earlier, halfway through the season. What do you expect? What do you expect here at New Hampshire tonight? Not a track I've been at, had a lot of experience with. So, what are you thinking here tonight, Alan? We see Jacob up on the pole right now.
Man, I tell you what, I think it's going to be hot, slick, and you're going to have to use some brakes.
All right. I'll try this a little bit delayed, but as we're getting qualified done, we're just trying to get our software here working. Been a little buggy here of late. They made some updates for it today, so my overlays are not working the way I want right now. So it looks like qualifying is rounding off here. Looks like we've got about 27 drivers here signed in right now. And we've got 8 drivers back here in the back yet to make a lap. But it looks like we're going to head over to qualifying. So we'll pull up the qualifying. We'll pull up the results here from qualifying. At least that worked. All right, so on the pole here for New Hampshire is going to be Jacob Jensen, Bob Beltrami to his outside. Chad Stern's going to start in that second row inside, starting in that third spot. Bentley Glazier, a favorite here for this race tonight, starting outside that second row there in fourth. Chris Samard in fifth, Ryan Steele sixth. Jeff Hollinsworth, not a name I'm familiar with, going to start in that seventh position with Charles Wood to the outside. Paul Cremeri, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. I am horrible with names. I can't believe they pay me to do this stuff, Alan. Wayne Hutchison, your point leader, going to start 10th. Why don't you go ahead and take on the rest of the field there for me?
Wayne Hutchison starting 10th. And then we're going to have Brian Barnes rolling off there in 11th. 12th will be Jeff Wills. David Weaver is going to roll off in the 13th spot, while Shane Jensen will roll off from the 14th position. Starting 15th will be John Gideon, while Scott Kukas will start 16th. James Dure will start in the 17th position, while Julian Ricci will roll off from the 18th position. Starting 19th will be Tyrone Harris, while Michael Milfeld Jr. Oh, jeez. Let me go back to English class and learn how to talk.
Milfeld, you got it.
Yep. Charlie Whiter will start 21st, while 22nd starting position will house Keith Hove. Barry Phil will start in that 23rd position, while Dustin Burns will start 24th. 25th starter tonight will be Scottman. Vincent Price will start 26th. Daryl Scott will start 27th. And 28th, and your final starter, will be Chris Walker.
So a bunch of names here. I'm not really familiar with covering the Western States Racing League for the last 5 or 6 weeks, and a lot of new names here tonight. 27 cars here at New Hampshire. Kind of a flat track here. Just a little over 1 mile. 120 laps here tonight. They start off this race with 80% fuel capacity. We're kind of expecting anywhere between about 45 to 50 laps if they run green before we're going to have green flag pit stops. So we'll see how that plays out here tonight. We do have 4 sets of tires, no fast repairs, so no fast repairs in this league. So if you get and no stages, which is one of my favorite things. I'm not a big stage guy, so we're going to take a quick look here at Jacob Jensen. Won 3 races on the season. He picked up a new sponsor this week, and that's 64. He got a new paint job on it. Jacob Jensen there with McConey Setup Shop. It looks like it's paying off for him as he's going to start on the pole here for the 10th race of the season for the Western States Racing League. Lights are out on the pace truck.
Green, green, green.
And we are green flag in New Hampshire. Jacob Jensen with a good start down there on the inside. Going to bring us to the stripe down into turn number 1. He's going to get down to that bottom line. That's going to be the preferred line down there. But Bob Beltrami with a good run through that middle. And you can see Bentley Glacier trying to work that outside. But it looks like it's going to be Jensen leading down the back straightaway. A little wiggle there for Beltrami off of 2. Is Jensen going to lead us down into turn number 3. And here comes that 05 of Chad Stearns with a strong run. All the way back up to 3rd. He was up alongside of Beltrami, but he's going to settle in that 3rd position.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, Bob Beltrami to run in 2nd. And here's Bentley Glacier running 3rd right now currently, as he's trying to get as much information from that race truck as he can to carry over to Sunday night, where he is racing at the Icon Cup Series. And they're going to be racing here at New Hampshire.
We've got a caution.
Looks like our first caution.
It looks like it's going to be Julian Ritchie with an incident. Jacob Jensen, our leader here after just a couple of laps. You know, I forgot to pull up the tower here. Here we go. Looks like it might be working for us. Now we're going to take a look back here at Julian Ritchie, see what happened. Down there on the inside of the racetrack in the 27 tonight. He got a different number than he usually runs, but he's right there tucked down on the bottom and just gets loose off the corner right there. Just loses the rear end of the truck. Turns it around in front of the field. Lucky we didn't collect a few more trucks in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. There, Julian Ricci doing the spin cycle, but nonetheless, here we are.
All right, we got a few new gadgets to play with tonight. You can see down there in the driver. So Jacob Jensen started on the pole, currently running 1st. Val Beltrami there in 2nd. Bentley Glacier 3rd, up a spot. Chad Stearns is actually dropping back a spot into 4th. Our top, Ryan Steele's going to round out our top 5. In that 12 truck. Ryan Steele's always really strong on these long runs. If we can get a long green flag run, we expect him to stay up towards the front. Take a look here at Chris Samard. We've missed Chris a couple of races. Good to see him back here with us tonight.
You know, there's some names I haven't seen in there, like you know, the FBR contingent, like over half of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of drivers I've definitely not seen on here before. So good to see this field filling out. We got 28 drivers. So it looks like we may have had 4 drivers did not take the green flag. Daryl Scott, Scott Mann, Chris Walker, and Vincent Price. Vincent Price actually made his first showing with the Western States last week and had a good run. So it looks like he was not able to take the green here tonight at New Hampshire.
Man, that's a tough break. Lap number 4, we're under our first caution of the evening here. There's Paul Krumai in that number 96 truck. He's headed for the mountains to get a silver bullet.
Off of turn number 4 here, down the front straightaway for one more lap. 5 laps into this 120 lapper. This is really going to help these guys stretch out this fuel mileage.
Yeah, most definitely. Whatever gas or fuel you can save it under a caution. Cautions equals fuel mileage. As the lights are out on that iRacing.com Chevy Silverado. You know, if there's one thing they need to upgrade on the sim, that's the pace vehicles.
That's a good looking truck. What are you talking about?
10 years old.
All right, so we're coming off at turn number 2. I'm watching the YouTube feed. It looks a little. See if we can get that smoothed out for you there. It looks a little bit sketchy at the moment. All right, come off of turn number 4. Jacob Jensen's going to bring him down the line. Gets a good jump there on Bob Beltrami, about 2 or 3 car lengths. You want to take us around here for a lap, Alan? I'm going to see if I can fix the settings here real quick.
Absolutely. Jacob Jensen gets out to a pretty good start there. Bob Beltrami right there in hand. They're going to get single filed out here at lap number 6. They work their way down the back straightaway, single filed out. 2 by 2 back there in the back a little ways. Can't tell who that is. Here we come to get lap number 7. 6 scored. We're working lap number 7 right now. And Bob Beltrami, the Beltrami salami machine, will set the fastest lap of the race.
Looking to the outside of Jacob Jensen as they come off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Jacob Jensen's led every lap so far. Bob Beltrami is right there behind him.
Bob Beltrami trying to get up to the back bumper of Jacob Jensen to put the move on him. And can't quite get there. As we are working lap number 8. There's the 40 truck of Charles Woods. Jacob Jensen goes quick time with a 30.79 for lap number 8.
Take a look up through here just a little bit further. So we're going to take a look up through the field and jump up here. Bentley Glazier sitting at the 3rd spot. He's got a good run on Bob Beltrami. Jacob Jensen so far setting a pace. We got another caution out.
Oh.
Not sure what that was for.
It was that pesky debris caution.
The debris caution? I just see a caution. I don't see any event that brought that out, so I'm not quite sure what that was.
The old debris caution.
All right, we're gonna see if we can fix these difficulties here real quick. We might need to take just a quick break here early on. Just keeping an eye on this. The video feed looks to be a little glitchy, so I'm just trying to get it smoothed out here. So sorry about it out there. Looks like it's smoothing out right now, so we'll keep an eye. So our lap number 10 here of 120 here at New Hampshire, the Western States Racing League. I'm Chris Murphy with Alan Bergen from Sim Racing Media. We're here for all 120 laps with you. You know what? I'm just gonna jump over and take a really quick commercial. We'll be back in just a minute.
think it worked.
Yep,
Yep,
after live or
yeah, we're watching the race right now. So you're gonna do everything as if you're producing. We're just using my PC.
my mics are on.
Yeah, you're hot.
All right, let's see if we can get everything back up and running here. Welcome back. A little bit of technical delays. Hopefully we're back up and running for you. All right, so we're under caution one more time. All right, there we go. Getting things settled up. So we're caution one more time here for about, is that the third caution now, Alan, or fourth?
This is caution number 3.
All right, caution number 3 here. We still have Jacob Jensen out in front. We got our technical difficulties straightened out. Nice to bring the caution for us. We didn't lose too many green flag laps. Nice to agree with us that way. Jacob Jensen still out front. Bob Beltrami, Bentley, Glazer, Chad Stearns, Chris Samar going to round out the top 5 right now. And we are green one more time coming off of turn number 4. Jacob Jensen going to bring him down the line one more time. Going to lead him down into turn number 1, and once again gets a really good jump there. About 4 or 5 car lengths. Look at that, Alan. Jacob's just getting a great start on these restarts.
Absolutely, and there he is getting a great, like you said, a great jump on the restarts here.
He is going to take about almost half a second lead down into turn number 3. Coming off of 4 here to start lap number 18. But Jacob Jensen out in front. Will scroll through the field here right now. Everybody's single file out, a little bit of side-by-side battle going back here. David Weaver 3 wide right now. David Weaver, Julian Ritchie, and Michael Milfelt Jr. 3 wide through 1 and 2 right now. They can fit 5 trucks in there. New Hampshire is nice and wide.
I'd say they're using every inch of this racetrack and then some.
Michael Milfelt working that bottom line. He has got Julian Ricci up there on the outside. Actually, that's Tyrone Harris on the 1 truck on the outside. I'm used to Ricci being in that number 1 truck, so it's going to be actually Tyrone Harris out there. We'll jump back up here closer to the front. Good. Actually, we got 155 truck of Michael Milfelt around off of turn number 2. He doesn't make any hard contact, but he does spin in front of the field. Nobody collects him, and we are under caution one more time.
That's a tough break for that 155 truck of Michael Milfelt Jr. Try to get a replay up here just as soon as we can.
Jump back here and see what happened there. And you can see Michael Milfelt off the bottom of the racetrack. He's been running the bottom. He just got on the throttle a little too hard. It's really easy to do at New Hampshire. You got to ease into that throttle off the corners. And he did make some pretty good significant contact with that inside wall with the back of the truck.
Oh boy.
We'll see how that's going to affect his race throughout. So we are now, where are we at? 20 laps in. So we're still not even halfway to the pit stop. And we are our 4th caution of the race right now. We've got a recap right now. Lap 20 of 120. Jacob Jensen still out in front. Our 4th caution for 10 laps. So we've ran half of our laps right now under cautions.
You know, now would be a good time to come down pit road. If you're Michael Milfelt Jr. going to come down. He barely just kissed the wall there and gave it a little chef's kiss. Mwah. And now he's going to come down and get some tires.
Yeah, I can see Chris Samard also taking advantage of that, diving down into the pits. Also, Scott Kukas, Michael Milfelt, like you said, Charlie Widener, all going to take advantage of this 4th caution flag. You know, he actually didn't give. There's a better look at the new paint job on Jacob Jensen. The earlier shot I had must have been an older skin. So our leader of the race right now, 3-time race winner so far, in the Western States Racing League, leading this one as well. 20 laps into this 120 lap race here at New Hampshire.
You know, Chris, I used to race in this league once upon a time. And then well, look, let's put it this way. I won the race at the beer stand a lot of times.
Well, I'm afraid if I was out there, I'd be doing the same thing. You know, I jumped on and actually did a little racing myself last night. Hadn't done any in quite a while. Actually picked up a win in a pavement street stock at Charlotte last night in an official race. My 3rd win so far. I was pretty happy with that. But then I jumped around, jumped into a couple different cars, jumped into. Have you tried the micro sprints?
I have not tried them since the update, but I want to.
Wow, I was horrible. I just have to say it, put it that way. They were a handful.
I mean, I'm not a sprint car kind of guy. I do own them, but I can't say that I'm a sprint car kind of guy. And well, I do like my late models. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, Jacob Jensen on the button, and we are back to green here in lap 22. Jacob Jensen going to get a jump on Bob Beltrami in the Beltrami's lobby. Here comes Bentley Glazer working inside as we are on board with Bob Beltrami, currently 2nd, and that's where he started at. Ooh.
Take a look back here from Jacob Jensen. Looking back, you can see trucks scattered all over the racetrack. They're back there. We're about 3 wide back here for 3rd, 4th, and or excuse me, 6th, 7th, and 8th. We're taking a look at Jeff Hollinsworth. I believe this might be Jeff's first appearance here with the Western States Racing League. Looking solid right now. Started in 7th, now up to 6th.
And here he is, Myers to the outside. There's Chad Sturzo falling in right behind a Bentley Glazer. Bentley Glazer being oh so good this season. And then number 87 truck. Chad Sturzo, he's looking to the inside. He might be getting past Bentley Glazer, but then again, Ryan Steele might be getting by him.
Stern's getting a good run down in the corner. Gets down on that apron. It actually cost him a little bit there. He had to check up a little bit for Bentley Glazer. Stern's getting into the corner just a little bit deeper. And you can see the run that Bentley Glazer gets off the corner. He's now up alongside of Beltrami for that 2nd spot. Chad Stern's going to tuck in behind Glazer in that 87 to see if he can follow him by. He actually thinks about going 3 wide there for a moment. Thinks the better of it. He's going to tuck back behind Glazer as Glazer trying to work his way around Beltrami for that 2nd position.
Right now, Bentley Glazer and Bob Beltrami are Goodyear to Goodyear as they walk into turn number 3 and 4. Chad Stearns and Ryan Steele also Goodyear to Goodyear as they come down the back straightaway. And Jeff Hollingworth's got front row seat to it all.
Jump in the truck here with Ryan Steele. You can see that battle right there in front of him. And I think what's happening, these trucks running side by side like this is letting Jacob Jensen get away just a little bit. He's now a little over a 2nd lead from this battle for 2nd place with Glazer and Beltrami. Take a look here again. We are 2 by 2 for the top for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Glazer has been worked down here on the bottom, trying to get around Beltrami now for about the last 4 laps. Beltrami doing a great job fighting back on that outside.
Here comes Ryan Steele. Enter Ryan Steele. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. Can't quite make it work. As this is short track racing at its best. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We got yellow flag once again.
Time we got a caution out of Mott. Again, I don't see what it was for. You didn't notice who dropped back through the field. It looks like it.
It was that mysterious debris caution again.
I guess I'm gonna think maybe I'm thinking might have been Julian Ricci as he's dropped way back through the field. No. No, I can't really tell. I thought maybe if I go to the blimp I could figure out who it was. So we'll just go back to live. I'm not quite sure what the caution was. You know, the last couple of nights with the event ticker has not really been showing us what's going on. So they're trying to figure out what's causing these cautions. But as we jump back in here, we are on lap 29 at 120. Is that our 5th caution now?
That's caution number 5.
Caution number 5. We've been under caution for 5 times now for a total of 13 laps. Our leader is still Jacob Jensen. Let's see. Believe he's led every single lap he has. He's led all 29 laps. Started on the pole. He's looking pretty strong here. You know, we keep getting these cautions back and forth like this. He's makes it. I think it just makes his life a little easier. But he's going to dive down into the pits here on lap 29. Oh, he's going to pull the okey doke.
You know, I always say this, Chris. When you pull the old okey doke move, that's like the equivalent of a pump fake in racing.
In football?
Yes.
Yeah. I got Scott Cook is down in the pits again for another time, and also Michael Milfit one more time in the pits as well. Unfortunately, you know, I think that caution might have been Chris Simard, as he has now been in the pits here for quite a while. So we are on lap 30. We are about 25% through this race, if my math is correct. Get back here for on the field to give you a little scenic shot there of the New Hampshire's landscape. Jacob Jensen, our Phoenix, Arizona driver, on the pole, still leading this race. We're going to go around one more time as we come off of turn number 4, across the start-finish line. We'll go around at least one more lap. Top 4 has been pretty consistent most of this race. Chad Stearns had snuck up into about 3rd and 4th there for a little bit. He's now fallen back to 5th. But, you know, his defensor, even if he was a little quicker, he's really got nowhere to go, as everybody's been kind of running side by side there in front of him with the Glazier, Steele, and Beltrami fighting it out for that second spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, what a great race this has been so far. We are doubled up 2 by 2 behind the iRacing.com pace car. We're doing it Noah's Ark style here in New Hampshire.
In the cockpit here with Bentley Glazier for this restart as they come off of turn number 4. Let's see if he can stay with Jensen. Jensen doesn't get quite as good a start as he has been on the last few, and actually Glazier's going to find his way around Beltrami, it looks like, up alongside at least. Bob's really got that outside line working really, really well here.
Bob Beltrami in that pastrami salami truck looks to be so strong here, lap 32. Bentley Glazier right behind him. Does anybody have anything for Jacob Jensen?
Looking like it right now as we head down the front straightaway. Jensen's still out in front. You know, Beltrami's probably got more laps around this racetrack than anybody else out here in this field, other than maybe Wayne Hutchison. And Bob's really showing his experience here. Glazier's thrown just about everything at him here. And Bob's been fighting it off, so I think Glazier might have just a little bit more pace. If he could get around Bob Beltrami here, I think you might see him give Jim a little bit of a fight, but Bob doing everything he can to hold on to that second position. We're lap 34. We're probably about, I'm guessing, many cautions as we have. We may be about 20 laps away from, just anywhere between 15 and 20 laps away from our first green flag stops if we can stay green flag from here on out.
Please stay green.
Beltrami settled into second. Now it's Ryan Steele up on the outside. He's making that outside line looks to be a little bit better right now, as Bob was able to hold off the battle from the 87. Now Steele actually making a move on the outside up into that 3rd position, looking really strong here. You know, I've seen Ryan Steele work if there is an outside groove at any of these racetracks, he is going to find it, and he is making it work here in New Hampshire right now.
Yeah, Ryan Steele running the high side. Right now, the story of the night has been Jacob Jensen, as he has been sitting high, wide, and handsome. You're not missing anything up there in the front of field. But Chris, he's going to start hitting left traffic fairly soon.
Yeah, about a half a track away from lap traffic right now. We take a look back here to the field. I saw this 3-wide battle going on. I jumped back here. Brian Barnes has ran good all season long. He's second in points right now. Not having a good day so far here at New Hampshire. Qualified back in 13th, is sitting in 12th right now. And he is back there. He got his hands full trying to get around David Weaver in that 16 truck.
Absolutely, there he is, reaching along with Michael Melfeld Jr. They're in a 155 truck. They're almost going to make it 3 wide. There they go.
They are going to make it through it.
Brian Barnes.
And Michael Melfeld brought out one of our earlier cautions, spun around, but he's working his way back up, and now we get back up here to the front as Bentley Glazer has finally found a way around Bob Beltrami up into that second position. So we're going to see if he's got anything for Jensen. There's Jacob Jensen. We're 3 wide here for third. Chad Stearns, Ryan Steele, and Bob Beltrami coming off of turn number 2, 3 wide right now. Let's see if they can make it there. Steele kind of gets off the throttle just a little bit as Stearns comes up the racetrack. And Stearns is going to find his way to third. And within a matter of about a half a lap, Bob Beltrami's lost 3 spots. He's going to fall from second all the way back to 5th.
Ryan Steele, the driver out of Chippewa Falls, right in front of Bob Beltrami. Bob Beltrami giving him the bumper on the business end of that race truck.
Yeah, jump in the truck here with Bob Beltrami.
Whoa, we get the little squirrel.
Yeah, he lost the rear end of the truck there off of turn number 2, but he did a good job of catching it. But he's going to lose a spot. He's going to lose a spot to Jeff Hollinsworth. Hollinsworth, again, a newcomer to the Western States Racing League, at least to my recollection. Has started 7th in this race and now up to 5th.
He's been here for a while.
Has he?
Yes.
I've not seen him here this season, but good to see him out here today for this race here in that Coast Guard number 97.
Jeff Hollingsworth was around even when I was racing here at the Western States Racing League. Here comes Bob Beltrami though, closing in on that number 97 truck. As Bob Beltrami four positions in the wrong direction, looking to make a recovery run here with lap number 41 of 120.
He's got Paul Cremuri in that 96 truck, and sorry, Paul, for pronouncing your name wrong, but that's all those rednecks can pronounce it. That's what we got. So Paul working his way up to 7th now, trying to get around Beltrami. We'll take a look at the front. Chad Stearns has actually closed the gap on the back of Bentley Glazer for that 2nd spot. And we thought maybe, yeah, go ahead there.
So Chad Stearns, a Newcastle, Indiana native, closing in on Bentley Glazer there in that number 87 truck. You know, here's the thing, you're going to start seeing these guys move around little by little to find that grip.
I thought Glazer had pretty good pace. Once he got past Beltrami, he might close the gap on Jensen, but actually Jensen stretched it out just a little bit. 1.6 seconds now between that 1st and 2nd position. Chad Stearns just kind of tucked up right there behind him in 3rd. I think we're just going to try to get some laps in. Everybody, Steele a little sideways off the corner right there. Does a good job of saving the truck. You can just see how challenging it is to get off the corner. There's not a lot of banking, and if you get on the throttle too hard, that back end just wants to come around on you.
Absolutely, and it's so hard to keep the truck under you, especially when it's really slick like it is.
Some battling back here in the back of the pack. We got Wayne Hutchison and Tyrone Harris there. Wayne Hutchison, last week's winner at Bristol. Our points leader right now here in the Western States Racing League, back here in 16th, so not having the day he'd like to have here. A previous winner with the Western States qualified in 10th, and he's fallen back 6 spots right now. And he has that 27 truck all over the back of him.
And right now, right here in this battle, there's more action than a Waffle House at 3 a.m. Here comes the one truck of Tyrone Harris. He's looking to make the move on that 27 truck and the 17 truck.
Battles all throughout the field here. We had 24 trucks start the race, all 24 still on the racetrack. Chris Simard is down a ways, but still out there on the racetrack. About 24 laps down now. We've got Charles Wood, another Arizona driver. So we got Jacob Jensen out there in front from Phoenix. Charles Wood here from Glendale, Arizona. And you see Beltrami right there losing the truck off the corner as well. So we have seen a lot of drivers getting loose off the corner, especially off of turn number 2. So actually surprised we've only had, what do we have, 5 cautions now. We could easily have had another 5. You guys doing a good job holding on.
Don't jinx us.
Take a look back up towards the front. We got Chad Stearns now. Right on the back bumper of Bentley Glazier for this second spot. We're lap 47. I think even with the caution flags, within the next probably 6 or 7 laps, we're going to see some green flag pit stops if we stay green, is my estimation.
Better your estimation than mine.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty bad with the math, but I had a little help earlier today trying to figure out some fuel mileage, so we're going to see how it works out, see if we're a little closer today. But, you know, we have had about, what have we had now? We've had 15 laps under caution, so it's possible they could stretch it out to maybe lap 55, 60 might be a stretch, but we'll see how that plays out here. It's Chad Stearns in third. Newcastle, Indiana driver chasing up. He gets a good dive into the corner there on Bentley Glazier. Can he get enough of pace off the corner? Not going to be able to do it so far. And he's going to stay tucked back into that third position.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, we're getting ready to start lap number 50. We've gone 49 miles. That's a little, you know, New Hampshire just shy of a mile. They call it the magic mile, but nonetheless.
What's magical about it?
I don't know. That's New Hampshire. Let me dial up Shane Lake and I'll ask him.
Or look at Shane Jensen here. Jacob's dad back here in another Phoenix, Arizona driver. So we're full of Arizona drivers here. Back here in the 8th position, having a good run. Moved up 6 spots after starting back in 14th. Truck I'm watching right now is at 155 of Michael Milfit. Started back in 20th, up to 10th, and he actually spun earlier. Probably fell all the way back somewhere in about 22nd or 23rd at that point. He's working his way back up through the field. He was able to come into the pits and get a new set of tires on, so that might be coming into play right now as he pitted back on lap 29.
Absolutely here, lap 51, 50 laps in the history book. We were just about shy of halfway there.
We'll see who's going to pull the trigger first and have to come into the pits. Jacob Jensen has not been getting a lot of screen time. So you see what happens when you kind of run away with the lead. Stearns looks to the inside of Glazier one more time. He's got a good run down into turn number 1. He is going to take that spot away. Nice run from Chad Stearns. Move up into that second position. Actually, off of turn 4. Come off of turn number 4. We're going to start lap 52. 69 laps left to go in this race. 51 complete. Actually, that's going to be 52 laps complete now as they cross the stripe. Chad Stearns now up into second. We were talking about Michael Milfit. He is now looking to get by that 40 truck of Charles Woods. Michael Milfit now going to move up into 9th, so he is definitely our hard charger right now, moving his way up through the field.
Most definitely up 11 positions from where he started. Jacob Jensen, though, still running away with it with a second and a half over Chad Stearns. There he is, the driver out of Phoenix, Arizona, putting it on cruise control here in the Western States Racing League.
Ugly colors on it. I think we'll leave that off the screen. So, Chad Stearns actually closing this gap up. It was about a second and a half when he got by Bentley Glazier. He's now closed that within about a second. So Chad Stearns has a little bit of pace right now. His last lap was about 2100s faster than Jacob Jensen. So he is. I think the smart thing for Jensen here is a lap 55. We're gonna have to pit at least twice in this race as it is. I don't think they can make it to 60. But even if they do, if it stays green from there on out, they're definitely gonna have to pit one more time. So, you know, Jensen actually losing some pace right here right now as Stearns is catching him. Maybe if I was Jensen, maybe I'd try to undercut, get in the pits, get some new tires on, and see if I can pick up some pace here, because he is definitely falling back to the grass with Chad Stearns right now.
Yeah, definitely Jacob Jensen doing what Jacob Jensen does best, and that is lead these races right now.
Jump back here to Michael Milfett one more time. He's back in 9th. He's working his way around Shane Jensen for that 8th spot. Jensen comes off the wall, just a little bit of contact right there, but no harm, no foul. And Michael Milfett now has his sights on the 96 of Paul Cremeri. And he catches the fence right there. Shane Jensen trying to fight back here, trying to get that spot back, trying to get the 8th, he's underneath of him. Coming up off the corner, and you can see Jensen gets really loose right there. We talked all day long, just, you know, they got 57 laps on these tires. Actually, Jensen pitted back on lap 14, so he's got about 43 laps on these tires, but you can see just how tough it is to get off the corners here and not break the tires loose.
Yeah, absolutely here. We're working on number 58, just about 3 laps shy of the halfway point. The Newcastle, Indiana native currently resides in that 2nd position. Now, 1 second back, slowly closing in on Jacob Jensen there, and that 64 truck. There you see the eyeball dust as they come off turn number 3 and 4. Now, here's the thing: we've only had 5 cautions on the night here as we get ready to work lap number 60 here in just another about a half mile.
Yeah, that gap's down under a second, 0.8 of a second now between Jacob Jensen and Chad Stearns. Lap 59 right now. The 15 laps worth of cautions have really helped them stretch this pace out. I think they're going to try to get to halfway, so we are on lap number 60 right now. They get to the halfway point, they're still going to have to pit. I mean, they're only going to be able to go these 60 laps right now because of so many caution flags. I don't think they can go 60 laps here. If they come in and pit right now, I don't think they're going to be able to go the whole rest of the race on without having to stop one more time. But again, I'm making an assumption. I could be wrong.
Well, you know what happens when you assume. Well,
And
right
Michael Milfett, we missed Michael Milfett. He made his way around Paul Cremeri for that 8th spot. He's now set his sight up to 7th, and he's looking to chase down that 14 truck of Bob Beltrami.
It took the words right out of my mouth, just like meatloaf. But nonetheless, Bob Beltrami currently running 6th rather, still 4 spots for where he started in the wrong direction. Jeff Hollins right there continues to run 5th. Now, you know, while this is all going on, Jacob Jensen or Chad Stearns has all but caught Jacob Jensen as you're just now past halfway.
I've got lap traffic right there in front of him, and Jensen kind of showing signs maybe he's going to come in. Let's take a look. He comes into 3 and 4 right now. He's got lap traffic in front of him. That is the 19 truck of Keith Hovid. Going to go around one more time. They're going to start lap 63. That's completes lap 62. Jensen kind of uses a little bit of draft there off the corner of that 19 truck. Going to put him a lap down. Right there in front of that's the 04 of Dustin Burns. So getting in some lap traffic right now with some long green flag runs. We had the 5 cautions early on, but it looks like we've got some things shaking out here, and everybody kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Keeping their head on straight here from here on out, I guess.
Look, they had 5 cautions. We had 2 cautions. You know, but nonetheless. Well, I tell you what, Chris, let's do this. Let's go ahead and, I know we've done it once before, but they're halfway. We're going to go ahead and let's take our pit stop for tonight. We'll go past halfway. Let's go to commercial break and we'll give these guys, we'll get a chance to catch our breath.
I think Alan thought we went to commercial, but I think we stayed live here, so we're gonna keep going here. Jacob Jensen still out in front. And it looks like Chad Stearns going to make his pit stop, so is Bentley Glazier. Ryan Steele going to move up into that second position now with Jeff Hollinsworth there in third.
Yeah, lap number 68 of 120, 67 laps in the history book here.
Hollinsworth going to come into the pits right now as well. Bob Beltrami also coming into the pits. Jensen still out on the racetrack. Steele and Milfit as well. So Milfit started back there in 20th, now up to third. He pitted back on lap 29, so he's got a little bit different strategy than everybody else. But I believe we're all going to have to make, let's see, what's that going to be? 52 laps if they're coming in right now. But Jensen also going to come down to the pits now, so Jensen diving down in as well. That is going to hand over the lead to Ryan Steele. You know, if Milfit can catch a caution here, that might really work out to his advantage. He pitted lap on 29. Yeah, I don't know, Alan. I don't. You think they're gonna be able to one stop here? I mean, we did have 15 laps worth of caution flags.
Oh, that's hard to say. I mean, working lap number 70, 69 laps in the history book. Ryan Steele got the lead pretty handily. But here comes Chad Stearns. He's coming through the field. You know, and here's the trickiest part about these races, you know, about the, you know, entering pit road and exiting pit road, is blending in. Oh, we got a truck. It's a little bit sideways. The one truck. That
was Tyrone Harrison. He was on the inside of Jacob Jensen at the time. Did a good job of keeping it off the side of that 64 truck. But, you know, the one point I was going to bring out there, Alan, is Chad Stearns came in just a couple laps earlier than Jacob Jensen. As we talked earlier, he was able to undercut and come out in front of Jensen. I think this is our race for the lead here once all the pit stops shake out. Jump back up. I should have marked that when I saw that and going back and looked at that replay. But yeah, the one trucker Harris just about lost it right there into the side of Jacob Jensen. So good driving there to keep him off of making that incident any worse than it was. As Ryan Steele here really backing off the pace. I don't know if he's trying to save some fuel. We're on lap 72. 49 laps to go. You know, I think Steele's going to come in here in the next lap or two, if not right now, and he will be able to go the distance from here. Will everybody else? And you can see him diving down to the pits right now.
Yeah, Ryan's still going to pull the proverbial parachutes.
And we got a caution.
Oh, no. Ryan's got to hit the abort.
For him.
Abort.
Well, the pit road was open when he came in. I think he's going to be able to complete his pit stop. Everybody else slowed down on the racetrack. We'll have to see where he comes out on the race. Where he comes out at. He might still come out in front of Chad Stearns. No, here comes Stearns. They're going to come down the straightaway right now. So there's Stearns and Jensen coming down. They are going to pass him while he's sitting in the pits.
Yeah, did not hit the abort button in time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, let's see what happened to Julian Ricci there in lap number 72.
Well, we actually had Scott Kukas as the one that brought the caution out. We'll take a look at that real quick, as he's just out here by himself in that Peace and Love number 242. It just snaps around on him like somebody threw some oil under the rear tires. And we also, like you said, we did have Ricci as well. So we'll take a look at what happened to Julian. I think this was after the caution might have came out. No, just kind of the same situation there. Out there on cold tires, I'm guessing, and just was not able to get those tires warmed up in time, but he was able to stay in front of the leaders there and not lose a lap.
It was me, Mario. I put the oil down.
Hey, Mario! All right, so that is going to give Chad Stearns the leader. I'm going to see if Anybody going to take advantage and dive down to the pits, or you? Let me see. These guys pitted on lap 66. You know, with this caution flag right here, this might get them to the end of this race. We got 47 laps left to go.
No takers.
Nope, and you can see all those trucks right in front of here between Chad Stearns and the pace truck. So we're gonna get these guys waved around here pretty soon. You can see Wayne Hutchison there in that bunch is one of them. I think I see Ricci in there as well, and the 16 truck of David Weaver. I can see them getting all waved back by the pace truck. Take a look at Jacob Jensen, but just Chad Stearns is going to get back to the point here. And, you know, it worked out pretty well for Ryan Steele. He's going to end up in third after this shakes out. Actually, Milfit's got to be up in there somewhere. Milfit was still on the racetrack. Oh, no, he did. Oh, he came in and pitted on 73, so that worked out good for Michael Milfit as well. He was able to dive down in the pits. So we're getting ready to go back to green here on laps number 74. Getting ready to finish off this lap 75. We're gonna go to green here. And they come off of turn number 4. It's Chad Stearns. Let's see if Stearns can get a good jump like Jacob was doing earlier. And they're gonna come across the stripe pretty well side by side, but Stearns is able to get a truck length in front of Jacob Jensen into turn number 1. Ryan Steele and Michael Milfit side by side for that third position back there. Bentley Glazier also right there. And we've got another caution. Not sure what caused that. Was it? I mean, the start looked good. I don't see any reason for. See if we can go back here and take a look somewhere in the back of the field and see if we can see what happened. Oh, Bob Beltrami there. Something. See if we can go back here just a little bit and see what happened on the start from Bob Beltrami's view. Oh, he just. The 90, is that the 95 there in front of him? Widener just didn't seem to go, and Beltrami just ran right in the back of him. And Widener's going to go around, so yeah. And you can see the rear bumper cover gone off that 95.
It's cosmetic.
Yeah, just cosmetic, that's all it was.
Just sheet metal.
There was, wow, if we go back a ways, you know, I remember, here's a name for you, Bobby Allison. I believe it was Talladega. Back in the Miller car. The back bumper got knocked off, and actually he won the race with no rear bumper cover, and they were pretty much accusing him of cheating in that race because once he lost that rear bumper cover, it was letting the air out. And it gave him a pretty good advantage, so we'll see if maybe Widener can use that advantage here, losing that rear cover on the back of his truck, but unfortunately, Bob Beltrami with some damage down in the pits.
Yeah, and there is
That's a shame.
I just said there is no fast repair in this
No.
league, so whatever damage you get, you get.
Yeah, unfortunately for Bob, was running up towards the front earlier, battling for the lead with Jacob Jensen. He now finds himself in the pits, 13 spots back from where he started back in 15th now, and he's probably going to lose a few more laps. We also have our point leader Wayne Hutchison sitting down in the pits, so Jacob Jensen looks pretty well poised to maybe move up in the points a little bit. Brian Barnes, second place in the point standings, sitting back in 6th right now. All right, we are starting lap number 79 at 1:20. 42 laps left to go in this race. It's Chad Stearns out in front. I'm Chris Murphy with Alan Bergen. Western States Racing League season 53, week number 10. This is halfway through the season here in this 20-week season. We're here with Sim Racing Media. If you're looking for some coverage for your leagues, reach out to us, simracingmedia.com. You can find us on Facebook. You already found the YouTube if you're here, and if you hadn't hit the subscribe button, do it, please. We're getting ready to go green one more time.
Yeah, these guys are lined up. This is the rule, single file. You can't make it work on the first time. This kind of restart bodes well for Chad Stearns, as he is on the button, and we are back to green flag racing.
Jacob Jensen does a great job staying tucked up right there behind Chad Stearns. We look back here to this third place truck of Michael Milfit. Started back in 20th, moves it up 17 spots. He was the benefit of that caution, able to come in and take on some tires. I think we're going to see all these guys go till the end of this race right now. Ryan Steele back here in 4th, trying to put some pressure on Milfit for that 3rd position. Bentley Glazier also right here, still hanging on in the top 5.
Bentley Glazier looking underneath Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele, though, has a better run off the corner.
Jump in the truck here with Bentley Glazier. Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin driver Ryan Steele holding on to that 4th position right now. He's got Bentley Glazier all over the back of him in the 87. Bentley Glazier has won a race here in the past for the Western States Racing League, looking to capture another one. And we've got another caution flag. James Durr with an incident here. Take a look. So James back here in that 08 truck. Well, actually 27 on your screen, but 08 on our scoreboard. And again, we're just seeing the same thing. And Shane Jensen, unfortunately, also going to get collected in that. And we're going to have a pile up there, the 40 truck as well. Shane Jensen, wrong place at the wrong time. So James Dorr just lost the back of that truck, as we've seen happen so many times today. And unfortunately, Shane Jensen, who was having a good run earlier, just gets caught up in that somebody else's mess. Chad Stearns is going to hold on his lead one more time. Did we get a lap in? Are we going to go back to double file?
We might stay single file. I'm not sure yet.
Bring up our race recap. Oh, Chad Stearns going to dive down to the pits. Jensen coming with him. I think Stearns was going to stay out on the racetrack, and he saw Jensen dive down in. Decided to come down with him. Going to come in here, take advantage, get a fresh set of tires. Definitely going to be able to make it to the end on fuel at this point. We'll take a look at the race recap as we're under our 8th caution flag of the event. 84 of 120 laps. Our leader right now is Michael Milfit Jr. He started back in 20th. And like we said, 8 cautions for 23 laps. And our lead changes there don't look like they're right, so we'll ignore that because I know we've had more than one lead change.
We've had a few of them.
Take a look at Michael Milfit. He's led 3 laps of this race right now.
I think they're going to spin around one more time.
You think so?
I think so. The lights should be coming off right now. Stand by.
All right, so one more time around. So 36 laps to go in this event. As we come across, when we take this green flag, we're going to have 35 laps left. Ryan Steele, Bentley Glazier, 3rd and 4th. And we're looking back there at those trucks that decided to come in and pit right there on that lap with Jacob Jensen, Chad Stearns. And Jacob did a good job getting into the pits there. He actually came out in front of Chad Stearns about 0.4 of a second better on the pit stop. But they're still going to start side by side here on this restart. See who can charge up through the field here. As they are on about 10 laps fresher tires than anybody there in front of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Milfit Jr. is going to be leading us back to green flag racing here at lap number 85 of 120. iRacing.com pace car getting ready to pull up the field. And that means only one thing. It's go time, Barney. As iRacing.com pace car hits the Geico restart zone, and we are off and racing.
Michael Milfit going to lead him down into turn number 1. And that 155 is kind of a throwback to it looks like a kind of a Kenny Schrader throwback to his 55 truck back in the day. Bentley Glazier in 2nd, Ryan Steele 3rd. We're going to keep an eye on Chad Stearns. Chad Stearns 3 wide here. Chad Stern, Wayne Hutchison, and Jacob Jensen for that 7th, 8th, and 9th spot, and Jensen down on the bottom. And they have the 74 of Jeff Willis and David Weaver side by side right there in front of them. So we're going to see how these fresh tires charge through the field. Stearns right now looks to be a little bit better, but nowhere to go. Let's see if Jensen's going to make it 3 wide down to the bottom. No track limits here in New Hampshire. He gets a little sideways right there. That cost him, but he was able to hang on to it. And here comes Stearns back to the bottom, going to make it 3 wide. It's Chad Stearns, Jacob Jensen, 74 truck of Jeff Wills on the outside. I don't think Jeff really wants any part of this. He's just trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get out of the way. Jacob Jensen there, mired back in that fifth position down towards the spot due to a caution flag, really. Nonetheless, right now your biggest mover of the race.
Yeah,
Michael Milford Jr., your biggest mover.
Yeah, Jensen fighting those cold tires right now. And we got another caution flag. It looks like it might have been, I'm trying to see who's falling back through the field. Maybe Charles Wood. Yeah, it is definitely going to be Charles Wood and the 27. We will try to catch an eye on this here real quick. Charles Wood up here on the outside. He's got Shane Jensen right there behind him, and the 1 truck of Tyrone Harris down on the bottom. And Jensen gets loose right there. It looks like they were crashing in front of him. Yes. Oh, it's a 27. Oh, hard hit there for Charles Wood. So it was actually the 27. Let's jump back here a second. See if we can figure out what that was. Trying to see who that was up there in front of him. Unfortunately, another caution. Michael Milfit still going to hang on to the lead here.
Yeah, working lap number 90 of 120 laps. I almost said 200.
Oh, no, I don't think we could have that many I think Barney's going to get tired of waving that caution flag if we go 200 laps in this thing.
Well, there is a time limit here on these races.
Our 9th caution for 26 laps. You can see Milfit down there on the bottom of the racetrack. I don't think there's any doubt that everybody here can go the rest of the distance here, especially with these extra caution flag laps. But we've got Jacob Jensen sitting back here in 4th, Chad Stearns 5th, both with fresh tires. They have been the class of the field most of the day. See how see if we get 30 laps in here with no more caution flags. You know, most of our we couldn't really tell what caused that caution. Somebody there in front of spun out in front of Charles Woods, and unfortunately he collected him in the door. But most of our incidents have just been single car losing it off the corner, and then either staying single car or collecting somebody else. But that's pretty much been just about every caution here in this race. Michael Milfit, our leader, he has led 10 laps right now. Heading down the back straightaway here one more time. Caution lights are out on the pace truck. Michael Milfit's going to bring him to the stripe one more time. I see Jacob Jensen on the outside. The one thing about Jacob's not afraid to push. He's not the most patient, as we've seen in recent weeks. So I think he's going to try to charge here right on the start. He's on fresher tires. So let's see what happens. They hit down into turn number 1. Michael Milfit bringing him to the line one more time. And for the 10th time today, we're going to go green flag. Michael Milfit brings him to the line. Bentley Glazier, Jensen. You can see Jensen pushing Bentley Glazier down the front straightaway into turn number 1. He's able to clear Ryan Steele, but Ryan's going to fight back on the bottom. Try to get back into that 3rd position. And there goes Jensen with a big dive down underneath Bentley Glazier into turn number 3 for 2nd. He's got a lot of confidence right now with those fresh rubber on. Oh, Glazer a little bit loose off the corner. Does a good job of saving the truck, and here comes Jacob Jensen into that second position. Lap number 93, 28 laps left to go in this race. Michael Milfit out in front, but he has got the hard charge, and Jacob Jensen right there behind him. See, Jacob's led 69 laps of this race up until this point, and he is looking to get by Milfit here for the lead. Dives down into 1 and 2, but here comes Milfit back on the outside as they head down the back straightaway. A little bit loose off the corner, but they are still side by side heading into turn number 3. That is going to put Jensen to the point, and another caution flag.
26 laps to go, and we got yellow.
I didn't know if you were still with me there.
No, I'm here.
All right, it looks like it's Shane Jensen involved in another caution one more time. Let's see if this one is of his making this time. He got caught up in a couple other ones earlier that weren't really his doing. And he just loses it, getting in the corner there. Tried to dive in underneath the one truck of Tyrone Harris. Oh! Some hard contact with the outside wall there for Shane Jensen. You know, he looked earlier to have a chance here to have a top 10 finish, but has been involved in a couple of these caution flags here as of late. And that is going to definitely put him back in the field. He's going to have some front end damage. You can see the left front of that truck dipping down just a little bit. And we got some guys diving down to the pit. Michael Milfit. I thought I said Milfit coming into the pits. Said I think he did one of those okey dokes. Went to dive down to the pits. Back to live timing here. Bentley Glazier. I think Michael Milfit might have looked down like he was going to go in the pits, and Glazier, Steele, Hutchison, David Weaver, and Sean Jensen are all down in the pits right now. So 25 laps left to go. I don't know. You think Glazier and Steele can make their way back up from about 11th or 12th at this point?
I mean, anything's possible, but yeah, I you know what? I think they could. I think they've all been fast all night long. You know, like I said earlier in the show, Bentley Glazier might be using tonight as a test session. See what you can learn for Sunday afternoon.
The Bentley's usually run pretty consistent. He started up in 4th, back to 11th right now, but he is the first truck that's going to come out in front of these trucks that just pitted right now. He's got Ryan Steele right there behind him, Wayne Hutchison as well. So they're going to have about 10 to 12 laps on their advantage on tires over the leader Jensen and Stern. We're going to see how this shakes out here once we go back to green flag, and we got looks like lights out on the pace truck here one more time.
24 circuits around to settle this one. Want to thank everybody for tuning in here on your phones, in your own, wherever you may be. I know Liam, he'll be back next week. He's working a graveyard shift this week at 9 to 5, but you know, he'll be back next week with more great action in the Western States Racing League. As the iRacing.com pace car gets ready to pull off on the pit road, Jacob Jensen and Michael Melfelt Jr. are going to have the button back to green flag racing. We go 24 laps to go. Make it 22.
You know, I hadn't noticed this, but look who snuck up into that 4th position there, Alan. Bob Beltrami's worked his way back up here after having some troubles early. After fighting early with Jensen for the lead, he is now up into 4th. 23 laps left to go. Let's see if Bob can. He got 2 wins here with the Western States Racing League at New Hampshire. Let's see if he can pick up his 3rd here tonight. He's looking really, really good right now.
Bob Beltrami looking sporty there. Here comes Michael Melfelt Jr. Chad Stearns looking to the inside. Jacob Jensen trying to drive away. Chad Stearns using up the apron.
Yeah, Stearns needs to get clear to Milfit here as quick as he possibly can, so Jensen does not drive away like you said. He wants to get clear of Milford so he can use up all the racetrack. But Michael Milford Jr. doing a good job up there on the outside. Good defense. And actually, Jensen pushes up the racetrack a little bit. And that's going to allow Stearns to almost get alongside of Jensen there for the lead. As Stearns now clears Milford just about. He's got him now as they head down into turn number 1 to start lap number 99. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, 99 here. 21 laps left to go.
Oh, Chad Stearns gets a little loose. That's going to allow Michael Milford Jr. to get by him. And there's only 2 drivers right now that are loving the fact that Chad Stearns and Milford Jr. are side by side. And one of those being the leader, and the other one being Bob Beltrami.
Stearns gets clear of Milford right there, but Milford crosses them back under. Just about caught the back of that 05 truck. But Stearns is able to get clear now on that 155 of Milford. They're going to settle into second, or actually into third now. Stearns needs to get clear here if he's going to have any chance to chase down Jacob Jensen. Keep an eye on, let's see where Bentley Glazier. So Ryan Steele actually cleared Bentley Glazier as they came out of the pits, and Steele now on fresh tires up to 6th. You can see Bentley Glazier right there behind him looking underneath Julian Ritchie to take that 7th spot away. We've got 19 laps left to go. We're going to see if that late pit stop here from Ryan Steele and Bentley Glazier is going to pay off for him.
Maybe, just maybe Ryan Steele running right where he started there in that number 6th position there. Wow. maybe I need to go dream about having a better English.
You can see, looking at the lap times right now, they cross the stripe, and actually, even Ryan Steele on those new tires, he's still a little bit quicker, about 0.04 of a second over Ryan Steele on that last lap. So we're going to keep an eye on this 12 truck, see if he can close the gap as he is trying to catch Brian Barnes and Val Beltrami right there in front of him. We'll take a look up here at Chad Stearns as well. Chad Stearns, once again, about 1/10 of a second lost on that last lap, but he just picked it back up on that lap, 1/10 of a second faster than Jacob Jensen, trying to chase him down here with 17 laps left to go at New Hampshire.
17 laps to go. Chad Stearns trying so desperately to close in on the number 64 truck of Jacob Jensen.
Take a look back here from Jacob's truck in the 64. He's looking to pick up his 4th win of the season. But he has got pressure from that 05 truck, Chad Stearns. Chad, once again, just a little bit quicker on that last lap, about 1/10 of a second. And you can see him taking a look down to the inside. I think Stearns got a little bit more pace than Jensen right now. And I think Jensen's driving in his mirror instead of looking out front. We'll see if Stearns can chase him down here with about 16 laps left to go now.
16 miles left to go. They're shifting.
Oh, you didn't notice that earlier? I guess I should have brought that up. Yeah, they're shifting that into third. Oh, Jensen gets really loose here. Caught that apron down there. Allowed Stearns to catch up just a little bit more. Yeah, I guess we should have brought that up earlier. We had a little insight that they might be shifting down into third in the corners here.
$14 laps to go. The story of the night. Jacob Jensen, can he finish straight third? And that was on the pole.
Take a look here at Ryan Steele making his way up underneath that 4 truck of Brian Barnes for the 4th spot. Those new tires not really seem to make a near enough difference here. So he's kind of been in dirty air too. He's not really had a lot of clean air to see what kind of pace he can put down, but he's actually losing a couple 10ths of a second to the leaders right now. As he clears Brian Barnes and sets his sight on the 155 of Michael Milford. Gonna keep an eye on that fight up front as well, so we'll peek back up there.
Just 13 laps left to go.
13 to go. And we jump over here and we see Ryan Steele up underneath Michael Milford. So Milford on the older tires, pitted back on lap 73. Steele up alongside of that 155 Federated truck with a little bit of a wiggle there, but Steele's trying to get that third spot away. He's got to get by Milfit here if he has any chance to run down the top two. And Bentley Glazier going to try to follow him by as well. So Steele now has cleared Milfit off of 4. Oh, as I say that, not quite. Milfit fights back up on the outside as they cross the stripe with 11 laps left to go.
11 laps to go. Ryan Steele momentarily has the third on the podium spot. Bentley Glazier still rocking the top 5, but he's going to work around Michael Milfit Jr. And Bentley Glazier's looking for a 2-for-1 special.
Back up here to the front, and it's still Jacob Jensen out in front, but he has got his hands full. He has got the rear view mirror full of Chad Stearns in that 05. Can he hang on for 10 more laps?
I believe he can.
Stearns looking pretty stout. So Stearns the only driver that's won multiple races here this season besides Jacob Jensen. Between these two, they have won 5 out of the 9 races this season. So right now it's down to both of them to see who's going to take the win. I don't think there's enough time for Ryan Steele. He's now about, where's he at? About 2.5 seconds back. He's got 9 laps. Just not enough time. I think him and Bentley Glazier had a pretty good strategy with just not enough time to chase down these 2 leaders unless we can get a late caution flag here.
Yeah, if we can get a late caution flag, I mean, I just don't see the pathway.
Keep an eye on that battle up front here as we look at Michael Milfit and Brian Barnes. Take the jump back up here to Chad Stearns. He's about 0.3 of a second. Gets a little bit loose. You can see how much they're fighting. That truck's off the corner.
You know, it's almost like you gotta wait on it, and you gotta use the brake.
Both of them with a little bit of a wiggle off the corner. Jacob Jensen with a little better run. 7 laps left to go now for the 05 truck. He's got 7 more laps, and he makes a good run there off of 2. He has got a shot at Jensen if he can make a big dive bomb into 3 here. He's 0.3 of a second back right now.
You know, in auto racing, 0.3 of a second is huge.
Yeah, you can see the eyeball test there. 0.3 of a second. It's about 3 or 4 car lengths. Cross the stripe, 6 laps left to go for Chad Stearns. Jacob Jensen to pick up his 4th win of the season. Another wiggle there. We'll take a look back here at this battle for 3rd and 4th real quick with Steele and Glazier. Oh, Michael Milfit sideways off the corner, off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Brian Barnes closes up on the back of him here as they head into turn number 3 for the 5th spot. Milfit's tires starting to show some wear. He's struggling a little bit getting off the corners. Brian Barnes able to run him down. And Stearns has closed the gap. It's now less than a truck length. Oh, a little bit of contact right there.
Oh, no.
That is going to put Jensen up into the wall, so a little bit of contact.
4
Chad
laps to
Stearns
go.
going to take the lead. Stearns took a dive down into the bottom. We'll go back and take a look at that when this race is over with, but we're going to stay here for this last 4 laps. Stearns went to take a look to the inside. We took a late lunge. Jensen was still there, and they made just a little bit of contact. And that put Jensen up into the outside while Jensen driving in deep right there, trying to get back to the back bumper of Stearns, it looked like. 4 laps left to go.
Make it 3 to go.
I think Jensen took a little bit of damage there as well. He's starting to drop off. We'll keep an eye on this battle for 3rd and 4th. We've got some other battles back here in the back of the field as well.
Yeah, there's 3 laps to go. Tyrone Ayers working on the 27 truck of 2-8 Reese. 3 to go. Meanwhile,
Take a
back
look
at the
back up
ranch.
here to the front. Back at the ranch, it's Chad Stearns with about a second lead now over Jacob Jensen. We knew it was going to come down to these two. A little bit of contact there. I think Chad took that late lunge. We're going to go back and look at it here once this race is complete. Look at that pass. We are going to come down the back straightaway. 2 to go. Going to come off with 3 and 4 for the white flag. Come off of turn number 4. And as you like to say, Barney with a white flag in his hand. 1 more to go for Chad Stearns to pick up his 3rd win of the season here for the Western States Racing League. Yeah, Jensen just hasn't had the same truck since that contact. He definitely took a little damage on the right front. So we'll jump up here and we'll catch Chad Stearns coming off of turn number 4. Checkered flag in hand. Chad Stearns going to come in and take the win. Jacob Jensen in 2nd. Ryan Steele, Bentley Glazier, and Michael Milford with a great run starting back in 20th. He's going to come home in 5th. Brian Barnes is 6th. Bob Beltrami salvaged the best run he could in 7th and come across the line back here in the back. And that was Harris, Ricci, and Weaver for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Pretty eventful race there, Alan.
Yeah, actually, you know, we had a caution. They had a caution. 10 cautions to be exact, you know, for 30 laps. But nonetheless, there is. Chad Stearns going to burn it down.
So let's go back and take a look at that pass for the lead here. You can see a little bit of contact to get in the corner. Let's just jump back and see how that started down the back straightaway. You can see Stearns takes a look to the inside. They actually made a little bit of contact before they even got in the corner. I couldn't tell if I gotta look at that one more time here. We'll look at it from let's see if we can get a little bit different camera angle. There we go. Jump back another few seconds here. They come down the back straightaway. Jensen there on the outside. Stearns takes a look, and they just catches that right rear. I think I'd call that a racing incident, Alan. I don't know, but what about you?
That's hard racing there.
So unfortunately, just a little bit of contact there. Pushed Jensen up towards the fence. It's going to bring home Jacob Jensen now, or excuse me, Chad Stearns with his 3rd win on the season. We go back to live time here. Still doing some burnouts down there in the infield. Right, you see Brian Barnes, David Weaver down there. So let's see if we can bring up our results real quick here. I'll try it one more time here. There we go. So Chad Stearns bringing home the win in the 05. Jacob Jensen in 2nd. Ryan Steele going to come home in 3rd. Bentley Glazier, both of them pitted late. Didn't really improve their position much, but I thought that if they could have cleared some traffic a little bit sooner, they might have had a shot at it. Michael Milford in 5th. Brian Barnes 6th. Bob Beltrami 7th. Wayne Hutchison in 8th. Paul Cremia 9th. And Tyrone Harris is going to round out the top 10. And we've got, let's see, I don't see Chad Stearns in the booth. How about we bring Ryan Steele up here for you, Alan?
Okay.
Let's start off with our 3rd place finisher.
Ryan, it's Alan and Chris up at the SRM booth. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Hey, look, man. You know, for one, congratulations on the top 3 finish with that number 12 truck. And what's it normally take to what more did you need out of the truck to get ahead of Chris and Chad and Jacob?
Probably would need a driver change. That probably would have helped a bit. I never felt like I had a handle on how to drive the thing tonight. I was constantly guessing, trying different lines. Never really found something that I thought that worked.
Absolutely. And, you know, this is a tough track. You know, as we work our way through the season, what's going to be your thought process as we head to the next race?
I don't know. Don't know what we're running next week, but just show up and do what I can. That's all I can do.
Awesome. But before we get you out of here, who do you want to thank and who helped you get it done on that number 12 truck?
Well, as always, I have to thank my Dog Bear teammates for helping prepare for the race, and I gotta thank you guys for covering the series.
Awesome stuff. Well, congratulations on P3 and go celebrate it with your team.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we got our second place finisher here, Jacob Jensen. Hey, Jacob, Chris Murphy, and Alan Bergen here in the booth, buddy. Hey, you had a good run out there today. Just came up a little bit short there at the end. What you led the most laps in this race. You looked pretty dominant out there. How was your day overall?
My day was pretty good. Car was a little bit loose throughout the day, but kind of crazy that we were able to have that close a run to the finish. It's kind of disappointing that he dumped me, but you know it is what it is.
Yeah, we went back and looked at the replay. I think if you go back and look at the replay, you'll just a slight contact you with you and Chad right there at the end. You guys raced hard all the way through to the end. You know, we got Kansas next week. How you feeling about Kansas?
Kansas should be fun. Hopefully, it isn't super draft affected race. A lot of times it is in the truck, but if it's not super drafty, it should be pretty fun. Lots of lanes to go at Kansas, so it'll be very interesting side-by-side racing.
Oh, we saw the new livery on the truck today. It looked really sharp out there. Hey, man, before we let you out of here, we're going to it's been a kind of a long race, a lot of caution flags and everything, so we're going to get you out of here early. But anybody you want to thank before we do?
Well, I want to thank the dear Lord. I want to thank my family, my friends. I want to thank Maconi Setup Shop. I want to thank you guys and Bob for putting the league together. And that's it.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night. So have yourself a good week, and we will see you then.
See you then. Have a nice one.
All right, Alan. So into another exciting week here in New Hampshire. How many caution flags did we end up with before that was over with?
About 10 or 11.
I was gonna pull this up here real quick to see if I could find out. So let's see here. I guess it's not going to work with the race over with. So one more time, we'll bring up the results real fast. As we said, Chad Stearns bringing home the win. Jacob Jensen, we got to talk to you there. I guess Chad didn't want to come talk to us tonight, but Ryan Steele rounding out the podium. Bentley Glazier, Michael Milfit with just a great run. Again, I don't recognize Michael's name, so it might be his first time here. So good finish coming home in fifth. Brian Barnes, Bob Beltrami, Wayne Hutchison, Paul Cremeri, Tyrone Harris going to round out the top 10. You want to take us through the next 10 there, Alan?
Yep. Finishing 11th will be Julian Ritchie. David Weaver finishes 12th. While Jeff Wills brings it home 13th. John Kenyon brings it home 14th. 15th to go to Shane Jensen. Barry Phil will finish 16th. 17th to go to Dustin Burns. Keith Hovid will go finish 18th. The 19th place finisher on the racing grid here tonight, Jeff Hollingsworth. James Stewart will finish 20th. And 21st to go to Charles Woods. Charlie Widener will finish 22nd. Scott Kukas will bring it home 23rd. 24th will be Chris Samard and Vincent Price, Scott Mann, Daryl Scott, Chris Walker not taking the green flag.
We had 28 trucks show up. 24 started this race. I don't know how many finished, but good racing here tonight with the Western States Racing League, week number 10. Chad Stearns coming home with the win. Sim Racing Media, we got a couple more events coming up this weekend. ECR Next Gen Cup Series on Saturday night at 9:15 Eastern, and then Sunday it's going to be the Icon Cup Series at 8:10, and they're back here at New Hampshire on Sunday, so you're going to be here for that one, I think, aren't you, Alan?
I am here all weekend. I am going to be on the call for both races with ECR, with Shane Cochran, and with Shane Cochran on Sunday. Sunday with the boys, the guards and stars of Icon. And, you know, here's a little something I'd like to leave with. Chris, as you walk through the streets of life, please don't put in traffic.
Night, everybody.